Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father, the Most High God, and Yahushai is the Messiah, the only begotten Son of the Most High, which these are the true names of the Most High, and His only begotten Son, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, in Lashon Kodash, which means holy language. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the upcoming elders that rule well, that teach well of great millstone. I want to give peace and blessings unto the elect, the house of David, the 144,000 men, whoever you may be. And salute and shalom to the fellow laborers, pushing His truth, testifying of Yahushua, publishing His word. As it is written, great are the company of they that publish the word. And I may be loosely paraphrasing on that, but your works, going to and fro, teaching His word, prophesying, edifying, is definitely respected in the sense of, considered, regarded, um, this lesson I'm going to be touching upon the saying of Yahushai in the book of Mark chapter 8, verse 34. This is the thing He called the crowd to Him. And this is the, if I'm not mistaken, the NLT translation, or the NIV translation, So going back, Mark chapter 8, verse 34. Then He called the crowd to Him along with His disciples and said, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. Yeah, basically, deny your will, your earthly interests, your aims, your goals. Verse 35, this point. It says, for whosoever wants to save their life will lose it. But whosoever lose their life, and for me and for the gospel, will save it. And this is something that we all will have to do in these coming times. When Esau, implement his, his new world order, his main agenda, which is what? The mark, the mark of the beast, where he will cause many to take a piece of technology in their flesh, and it will be used as an instrument to buy and sell. That is the mark. He will ultimately create a biometric digital currency beast system. And without this mark, you won't be able to buy and sell. You won't have the means to buy and sell as you do now. Esau, he will make it very difficult and very hard for those who have not the mark to buy and sell. In a way, he will put it plain and simple, he will restrict those who have not the mark. From what? Sustaining your life. So in these days, true believers, the true disciples of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will have to apply this. Are you going to deny yourself and be willing to forsake, your livelihood, or forsake the way whereby you may be able to feed yourself or your family, you know? So are you going to be able to lose your life for Yahushua? That's going to be a way of losing your life. You denying that chip, that microchip, the mark, that's you denying your life, you know? Because you're basically, willing to go into the way where you may starve, where you may go without food and water, you know? So in a way, you're basically choosing to lose your life, if you, reject that mark. It says, for whosoever wants to save their life or lose it, and yet this also applies to the world as well. Because when Esau, make that happen, it's going to be like a highway where everyone is going to go through, you know. Everyone is going to participate in that new world order by what? Taking that shit, you know. It's going to be, you know, um, you know, the majority, consenting onto that way. So they're going to try to seek to save their life, right? Even some Israelites, you know, right, who know of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh will know of this truth, who are not of the elect, but know of the truth, they're going to try to seek to save their life by what? Taking the mark, right? But in the end, they're going to die nevertheless, with horrible judgment, in fact, by way of, second death, nuclear fire, you know. So are you going to try to save your life by taking that mark and by worshiping the image of the beast, which really taking a mark is an expression of worshiping the image of the beast, you know? So are you going to try to save your life by doing that? You're going to end up losing it. Or you're willing to lose your life by rejecting that, by denying that, and being that dissident, that person, that individual who is resilient to this man's new world order, to this man's, threats and oppression, and wickedness. Verse 36, it says, what good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their own soul? And yet this is basically what the majority will be doing if they have not already. When the prophecy of Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 to verse 18 come to pass concerning the mark of the beast, the majority, they're going to be selling their soul. When you go into that word soul, it basically goes into your life. Which anybody who don't know this truth, they don't have life anyways. But taking that mark, and participating, in that man's new world order, right, you absolutely have no life. Before taking a mark, you may have a chance or, an occasion, to hear this truth and to believe. But after you take that mark, you gave up your soul, that you may have a place, a position, or a place in this world, in this society, by what participated, that you may be able to, feed yourself, buy and sell, that you may be able to really be, free from the threat of imprisonment and death, which that's something that he will threaten, in order to cause many to take the mark, But anyways, let's jump to the other scriptures. When I was meditating upon it, I thought of this Isaiah chapter 32, verse 6. It says, "For the vile person," in fact, we could get the CSB translation, Isaiah chapter 32, verse 6. It says, "For a fool speak foolishness." It says, "And his mind plots iniquity." And this heavily applies to Esau, man, to the elites, because this is one of their main intents, their main devices, where they're going to try to subjugate everyone under themselves by way of that mark. You people will become a possession, a servant, in reality, literally a literal human resource that this man will be able to consume and consume and consume. If you have that mark, he will really literally own your body, your mind, body, and soul. No freedom, no privacy, but he will be able to track you, observe you, control you, command you wheresoever you want, because you have that mark, in you. And this is something that he wants, to mix man with machine to some degree, in that way, shall I say. It says, "For a fool speak foolishness, and his mind plots iniquity. He lives in a godless way, and speaks falsely about Yahweh." It says, "He leaves the hungry," disappointed. I wanted to get. "He leaves the hungry empty, and deprives the thirsty of drink." And this is what he's about to do to a lot of people who are going to be resistant. To this man's new world order. He will make it very difficult for you to even eat, for you to even, support yourself as you would now without the mark, without complying by taking that mark, So in a way, you brothers and you sisters, who have this hope, who have this truth, and hold fast the testimony of Yahweh Shai, you're willing to go through hunger, and scarcity, which when you really think about it, when it comes to, which that's a state near death, that's a state near death, when you really think about it. So, but the thing is, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai will feed you and will provide for you a lick, because you hold fast to the testimony of Yahweh Shai, you believe, man. So even though you're taking that risk, but in the end, the Lord gonna take care of you. At the end of the day, during the process of it all, the Lord gonna take care of you. So really, in our minds, we're gonna reject the mark. In our minds, we don't see it as we're gonna go, being hungry, and having no food or water. In our minds, we have a hope, But let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more stay upon him that smote them. Yep. We're not going to trust or lean upon Esau in these last days. It says, but shall stay upon Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. You know? So we're going to lean upon Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know? Yahweh Shai said this. Let's see, real quick. It's in the book of Hebrews, chapter 2, verse 18, it says, for in that and yeah, this is applying to Yahweh Shai. Because without Yahweh Shai, we won't have that spiritual intervention. We won't have, help in those days. We won't be fed without Yahweh Shai. Hebrews chapter 2, verse 18. It says, for in that he himself have suffered being tempted. Yeah, Yahweh Shai, he suffered when he was on the earth. He suffered many things for us. It says he is able to secure them that are tempted. So Yahweh Shai is able to what? The word secure means to assist or to help or to aid. So Yahweh Shai will be able to help us, aid us, when we are tempted. And that's a major temptation. The time when a marker beast is implemented, that's going to be a major temptation, man. A major time of difficulty, oppression, and misfortune and hardship for you saints, for all. But you will have a way out of it. You will have that assistance. And without Yahweh Shai, you won't have that assistance. You won't have that spiritual intervention. Because ultimately, Yahweh have set Yahweh Shai in his throne, in the heavens. The scriptures tell you, the Lord prepared his throne for judgment. And when it comes to Yahweh Shai, he was exalted in a very, very top position beyond we can even comprehend. Yahweh Shai, he handled things for the Father. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are one. So really, if we obey Yahweh Shai, obey his truth, it would be Yahweh Shai being the one sending the angels, to feed you, to help you, to strengthen you, you know, while you will be, living out these prophecies. Yahweh Shai will be the one, ultimately according to the will of Yahweh, be the one basically, operating on your behalf in the heavens, you guys saying having friends in high places, man. Will we have friends in high places? And that's not to take away from Yahweh, because ultimately everything is according to the will of Yahweh. So whatever Yahweh shall do it for you in heaven is according to the will of Yahweh. Sometimes I speak on this. I speak on Yahweh Shai because he, you know, he, deserved the honor. So Yahweh Shai in the heavens, man, you know, in the throne of the Father in the heavens, you know, he's handling things for you. And he will handle things for you. You know. He'll be that being sending the angels to help you. And again, it's going to be according to the will of Yahweh, and that's the position that Yahweh shall have. You know, all judgment have been committed unto him. So that's what I mean. Without Yahweh shall, we ain't gonna have help. Because no man can come to the Father without Yahweh shall. That's that saving strength. We have access to that, to Yahweh, through Yahweh shall. So continue believing, continue in the doctrine, continue in the truth, that you may have a way to escape those evils. But many, or shall I say, some Israelites, according to the book of Matthew chapter 13, verse 20, it says this, but he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and with joy receiveth it. Yet hath he not root in himself, but endureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth, because of the word, by and by he is offended. So Esau, man, he's going to be the one contributing to the tribulation, to the persecution, to the oppression. And you're going to have some Israelites who know the truth fall away, become offended, become displeased and fall away. And this is, you have types of individuals like this, amongst the Israelite community, and that's a fact, But this is our mentality. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 66. After verse 5 says, let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For ye have said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee, and yet this is our hope. It says, so that we may boldly say, yeah, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. And yet he's always going to try to take away our food, man. Take away our way of feeding ourselves, sustaining ourselves. But it's going to be Yahweh Bashu, Yahweh Shai, being our helper, We have access to the Father, Yahweh, who is our saving strength, who is our power, The scripture says salvation belongeth to Yahweh. So it is him who chooseth who saveth and not. We have access to Yahweh, to that salvation, that saving power through Yahweh Shai. Romans chapter 8, verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Yahweh Shai? Shall tribulation or distress? That's going to be a very hard time, man. A very hard time. Imprisonment, being threatened to be in prison, being threatened to be put to death, or being put to death for rejecting this man's new world order. Not being able to go into these supermarkets, however it goes, because I'm led to believe Esau, he will for sure have soldiers, militaries positioned wherever, there's food, so you won't be able to waltz, into these supermarkets and try to take whatever you can get. Nah, Esau, he gonna have troops, man, enforcing those very devilish laws and measures, man. So he's gonna restrict you, from food, man. From buying, from a lot of things, man. you know, and that's gonna be a stressful times, man, right? But you know, that's not gonna separate us from the love of Yahweh Shai. It says, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword. You know, it says, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. And that's basically what we are, and that's basically what we will become. Like sheep, sheep for the slaughter, you know, waiting, you know, death, you know, and we all have to acknowledge that, man. You know, we all going to some way, some form, going to draw near to death. You know, now some is prophesied to be literally persecuted, beheaded, decapitated, and that's prophecy. You know, but you're gonna have some who will not taste of death, right? But nevertheless, all is gonna draw near to some form, some way to death. You know, in the sense of, you know, the threat of death. You know, which Esau he's like death. You know, he's the one that he's gonna bring death. You know. So Esau is going to try to target some brothers, but some of you brothers and sisters won't get away. You know, some of you are not going to taste of death. It says, nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. So we're conquerors, man, through Yahweh Shai. Right, we're going to get the victory. It says, for I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Mashiach Yahweh Shai, our Lord. You know? Psalm chapter 141, verse 4, and this is the spirit that the Lord will put upon your elect. Incline not my heart to any evil thing. Yep. The Lord is going to put a spirit, the Lord is going to have a spirit on you elect to what? To reject, you know, and to deny, and to be against the mark of the beast. You know, the action of taking the mark, you know, and participating, you know, in that. It says to practice wicked works with men that work iniquity. Yet in the majority, they're going to participate in that wicked work of that beast system. You know, that digital currency, you know, taking that mark, you know. It says, and let me not eat of their dainties. You know, you will let me. You know, you're going to reject. You know, because when it comes to the mark of the beast, that microchip, you know, he's going to make it, you know, to be, you know, he's going to basically paint a good image around it, you know, like it's like some exclusive thing, or, you know, if you don't have it, then, you know, you're inferior or some way, you know, because really that's going to be an instrument whereby you may be able to get whatever you want, or get, you know, what is, you know, desirable, shall I say. Dainties just goes into what desirable, you know, really, if I'm not mistaken. So that mark, you know, it's going to be an instrument whereby you may be able to get, you know, whatever is desirable, such as food, you know. So with that, so the mark, that's basically like a dainty in a way, you know, because without it, you won't be able to buy it. So the world, they're gonna see it as a dainty thing. You know, I'm gonna get that. You know, I'm gonna need that. You know, but you're gonna have a mind to reject it. You know, I'm gonna close off now. We'll let this lesson have fun. want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai Shalom.